understand the error handling part in Python. Error handling is very useful for a programmer to quickly categorize and understand what kind of mistakes might be taking place during the execution of their program. These are the built in errors which you may get while executing the Python. Let us see one by one. So, the first one is the name error. Let us type I'm going to create a string with Python programming. And now I'm just going to type print a string or a variable which I haven't declared. Okay, so while typing mistakenly, I have given str1. Let's see what error it's showing. See, this is what name error. Can you see here? So this is the name error. That is, if you are trying to use a name which you haven't declared anywhere in the program, then it will show you name error. Okay, let us see what is syntax error. I'm just creating another string, okay, where I'm not closing it properly. That is, I have opened the quotation in order to give the string, but I haven't closed it. And I'm just trying to print it. Even if you haven't printed, it will show you an error. So if I execute this, this will show you a syntax error. That is EOL. EOL means end of line. Because I have opened the quotation, but I haven't closed it properly. That is why it is showing the syntax error. So the next is type error. Okay, so we are going to discuss about type error now. If you apply an operation or a function to the wrong type of data, you will get a type error. Okay, so here I have str1. Okay, let us assume this stri, which I have used the string. I have stored the string. Now I'm trying to print this stri plus 5. Okay, so what it will show? It's not possible, right? So it will show type error. That is, you cannot concatenate a string and an integer. You can concatenate two different strings. This concatenation part has been discussed already in a different video. You can check that. Okay, so far we have discussed a name error, syntax error, and type error. Let us discuss what is an index error. If you try to reach an index outside the limit of the data, you will get the index error. So here you can see that this is the string where it is having nearly 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But I'm trying to access an index which is beyond the 16. Okay, that is, I'm trying to print something with the index 20, okay, which is not at all there in the string. The 20 is not any index, which is not an index in the string. Okay, so if you execute it, you will get index error because the string is out of range. Okay, so this is what we call it as an index error. Hope you understand till this. Okay, I'm just proceeding with the key error. Okay, so I'm just proceeding with the key error. Key error is also like an index error, which is for dictionaries. Okay, if you try to reach a key that you haven't included in your dictionary, then it is likely that you are trying to access the key. Fine, I'm creating a dictionary, and a dictionary has a key value pair, right? Python 5. Okay, and I'm trying to access the dictionary, my dict, which is a key which is not there in my dictionary. Okay, so now see, it's a key error. Okay, C is not at all there in my dictionary which I have created. That is why it is showing a key error. The next one is the attribute error. So, what is an attribute error? When we try to use an attribute or a method that doesn't apply to any specific data which we are working with. Okay, so for example, here I have a data, okay, which is I'm just using 125. Okay, I cannot use capitalize. Okay, I cannot use capitalize function for this data because capitalize will work only with the string data. So if I do this, it will show you attribute error. Okay, int object has no attribute capitalize. It is not having any attribute called capitalize. These are the built-in Python errors. Okay, name error. So let us understand name error. Again, I'm just giving you a small revision. So name error, if you try to object, if you try to get the object which can't be found find out by the Python, it will show you a name error. And this is a syntax error, that if you leave any syntax error, like without closing the curly brace, or the without the closing quotation, if you are open with a single quotation and closed with a double quotation, okay, so this will gives you a syntax error. Next is a type error. When you apply an operation or a function to the wrong type of data, it will show you the type error. Okay, that is type error like this. And next is an index error. If you try to access the index which is outside or which is not at all in the particular string, it will show you an index error. And key error, if you try to access a key in a dictionary which is not at all initialized or declared, then it will show you key error. And the last one is an attribute error. It will show you an attribute or a function if you try to use it for the wrong data type. Okay, so that is where you will get the attribute error. So in Python, we'll also end up with some other type of date error, which we call it as a general programming error, that is a syntax error, semantic error, and runtime error. So syntax error, that is if we are not properly making use of an Python rules like double quotation and a single quotation, or if you're typing an extra character, and if you're typing a Python keyword in a wrong way, for example, instead of print, okay, small p, you are using a capital P, and instead of print you are just typing prnt. Okay, these are all the syntax errors. Okay, so the syntax error, I think we have already discussed the syntax error, which you haven't give the proper, you are not following the proper syntax which is defined by the Python itself. Okay, in the Python language itself. For example, I'm just creating a list, and I'm using like this, and I haven't closed the square bracket, and I'm creating a print statement where I have opened with a single quotes and I'm closed with the double quotes, then it will show you a syntax error. Okay, so this is what basically a syntax error. So then what is a semantic error? Okay, so this is the Python general programming error. This is a logical error. Okay, logical error, the semantic errors, or like the problem and the meaning. Okay, fine. For example, if you forget to divide a percentage results with 100, that will give you a wrong result. Okay, that is dividing something by 1000 or 100, where it will show you some wrong result. Okay, so that is basically a semantic error. For example, I'm just typing the population. Okay, and the birth. Fine, so I'm just giving the birth. Fine, assigning the birth, and birth per rate. Fine, so where we have to divide it by birth divided by population. Okay, okay, so what happens here, see, what is happening here, if you just execute it, it will not show you a proper result. Okay, this is, we call it as a semantic error. Okay, and if you see what is a runtime error. Okay, the runtime errors or errors which will happen during the program runtime. Okay, see, it will not cause while you're execute like compiling your code. Fine, it will cause if you run the code, that is compiling your code, it will give you the error while running your code. Okay, so this might be a cause of an infinite loops or anything like a divided by zero. Okay, you cannot divide anything by zero, right? For example, if you try to divide 100 divided by 0, fine, so what will be the result? Zero division error. Okay, so this is basically a runtime error. Okay, this, because for execution it will not show any syntax error, because syntax error will be caused while compiling it. Okay, whereas this type of error will be while that is running the program. Okay, so these are all the errors which will be usually caused when we type or when we are doing any programming with a Python. So whenever you get any error, just to see what type of error it is and then read the error, you can definitely solve it. Okay, the only thing is you have to be patient. You have some patience, you should have patience to read it and understand what is the error is, then only you can figure it out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this knowledge with everyone. Take care. Bye bye.